It's funny how one small decision can change everything. It all started last night. I was getting ready to turn in when I heard it. A desperate, piercing meow coming from the street. It wasn't the usual cat chatter. This was a cry for help. I couldn't just ignore it. My heart was pounding as I stepped outside to see what was wrong. And there she was, a beautiful tuxedo cat huddled outside my neighbor's house. She wasn't just meowing, she was wailing from hunger. She looked so thin, so frail. I honestly thought she was on the verge of collapsing. She looked like she was dying. I rushed back inside and grabbed some cat food, my hands trembling a little. When I went back out and put the bowl down, she didn't hesitate. She ate like she hadn't seen food in days, cleaning the entire bowl until it was spotless. Seeing her that desperate, I knew I couldn't leave her out there, so I made a decision. I scooped her up gently and brought her into my home. I felt a sense of relief, just knowing she was safe for the night. I made a cozy little bed for her, and she seemed to settle in. But when I woke up this morning and went to check on her, she was gone. My heart sunk. I searched the room, but there was no sign of her. I figured she must have somehow managed to climb the gate during the night and run off. I felt a pang of disappointment, but I hoped she was at least a little stronger after a meal and a safe night's sleep. I was just about to head out for a walk when I saw something that made me stop in my tracks. It was her, the tuxedo cat, and she wasn't alone. She was standing at my front door, and with her were 6 tiny kittens. She had brought her babies to the one place she remembered finding kindness. She trusted me. After bringing a couple of them right to the steps, she suddenly darted off again, disappearing down the street. I started to panic. Where's she going? Her kittens are here. I looked for her, but she was gone. My worry was cut short when, moments later, I saw her trotting back up the path, another tiny kitten gently held in her mouth. She was bringing them to me one by one. She was a considerate mama too. She carried them right up the stairs to the tiled landing, knowing the cool surface would be a relief for them in the heat. By the time she brought the third one, she was visibly exhausted. I didn't waste a second. I rushed to get her fresh water and more food. She was ravenous, lapping up the water and eating desperately. You could see in her eyes how hard she'd been struggling just to survive, all while trying to keep her babies alive. She must have been starving for days. After she ate, she ran off again, but this time, just into another room. I was curious, so I followed her quietly. And that's when my heart just melted. There, huddled in a corner of my kitchen, was another one of her babies, waiting patiently. She must have snuck this one in during the night before she went back for the others. To see her nuzzle up against her tiny kitten, it was just the sweetest thing. This little surprise made me realize there might be even more kittens hidden somewhere else. This brave mom was on a mission, and I had to help her finish it. First things first, I needed to get all the babies that were here together with their mom. I found the little ones she'd left on the landing, all huddled together for warmth and comfort. I picked them up so gently, my hands cupping their tiny, fragile bodies. They were so precious. I brought them to their mother, and a wave of peace washed over me as I watched her immediately start to care for them. But my work wasn't done. The first line of the story said 6 kittens, and I only counted 5. I still couldn't shake the feeling that one was still missing. I searched my entire house, every room, every closet, even behind the doors. Nothing. Then I remembered how the mom cat had disappeared earlier. I started searching the immediate area outside my house. I was starting to lose hope when I saw a couple of neighborhood kids down the street, gathered around something. As I got closer, my heart leapt. In their hands, they were holding a tiny kitten that looked just like the others. They told me they'd found it all alone near a little shop. Luckily, they hadn't seen a mother cat or any other kittens around. This had to be the last one. I thanked the kids and rushed back home, my heart soaring with happiness. I walked in and placed the final missing piece of the puzzle right next to their family. The reunion was complete. The mother cat immediately started to nurse all 6 of them, purring contentedly. She licked them and cleaned them, making sure every single one was okay. Watching them all safe and together was one of the most beautiful things I have ever seen. They had a long journey ahead, but the hardest part was over. The next step was a trip to the vet. I carefully placed all the kittens into a carrier and then their brave mom right beside them. They were on their way to a new life. At the clinic, the vet gave the mother cat a full health check. I held my breath, hoping for good news. And we got it. The doctor smiled and told me that despite her ordeal, she was perfectly healthy. All of them were. From the clinic, we went to their new temporary home, my little sanctuary for stray and rescued cats. When we arrived, I couldn't wait to get them settled. I opened the carrier in their new clean and safe room. The cool air seemed to calm the kittens immediately. Mom was a little timid at first, peeking out, but not wanting to leave the safety of the carrier. So we gave her a little gentle encouragement. As soon as she was out, she went right back to her motherly duties, finding a soft blanket and calling her children over to nurse. For kittens this young, losing their mother is a death sentence. I was just so incredibly happy that this family would never have to suffer on the streets again. As a little reward for being such a loving, dedicated mom, I gave her a special treat, which she happily accepted. They even got to meet one of our resident cats, a sweet and gentle soul we call Ruby. Ruby is our official greeter. She has a way of making every new arrival feel welcome. She came over to say a gentle hello to the new family. The new mom was still a little wary of making friends, which is completely understandable. We'll give her all the time she needs to adjust. Ruby seemed to understand and just started grooming the little kittens herself, as if to say, "Don't worry, you're part of our family now. I'll help take care of them." Finally, it was time for a proper meal in a proper home. I set down a bowl of delicious, wet food for the new mom. At first, she seemed hesitant to eat for herself. Her focus was still entirely on her babies. But after a little coaxing, she finally gave in and began to enjoy her well-deserved dinner. Watching her eat peacefully without fear, knowing her 6 precious kittens were safe and sleeping soundly nearby, that's the moment that makes all the worry, all the stress completely worth it. This is why we do what we do. From the brink of death on a lonely street to a safe, warm home surrounded by love. Their new life has just begun.